Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset. Please do your own research and due diligence when choosing what to invest in. Now, on to the analysis.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I was able to make another $55 or $54 rather in passive income for the month of June, bringing my total for the month of June to $255. So I'm going to talk about that on this video. I'm also going to talk about some news that came out on Riot Platforms website and also Bitfarms website. And I'm going to talk about what that means for me personally. Also, I'm going to talk about what the poison pill means for both Riot and Bitfarms shareholders. So I'm going to discuss all of that in this video. So first, I wanted to start off with the news that came out in Riot Platforms website. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. As you can see here, June 13th, which was last week, this is what Riot Platforms released in their news report. They said that they have acquired more shares of Bitfarms. They now have ownership of 14% of Bitfarms stock. All right. They've bought it at $2.70 per share. All right. So they've been buying up a lot of Bitfarms stock. And let's take a look at what they say here in this news release. This part that I have highlighted here says, Riot currently intends to requisition a special meeting of the company's shareholders, at which Riot intends to nominate several well-qualified and independent directors to join the company's board of directors, the board, which follows from Riot's serious concerns regarding the board's track record of poor corporate governance. Okay, so Riot continues to attack Bitfarms' leadership, right? Their board of directors, their management. Well, Bitfarms currently does not have a CEO, right? They have an interim CEO and one of their co-founders, which is Nicholas Bonta. But Riot does believe in Bitfarms, right? How do we know that? Because they want to own Bitfarms. They want to buy out Bitfarms. They're even going as far as buying shares at $2.70, okay? And basically, they now have ownership of 14% of Bitfarms. Now, if you remember, Bitfarms has used the strategy of the poison pill, okay? We're going to talk about what that means. Now, let's go into what Bitfarms press release was, and then we'll tie that in with this Riot Platforms press release, okay? So let's go ahead and find out what Bitfarms is doing now. Bitfarms enters into agreement to develop 120 megawatts in the US, provides 2025 guidance of over 35 exahash. So Bitfarms has adopted a plan to continue to grow in the year 2025. So they're growing even more than what they plan to grow, or they're projected to grow in 2024. Right, 35 exahash. They are currently at 9.5 exahash. Most likely by the end of June, they'll be at 12 exahash. So they just keep growing. They're continuing to grow in their company, okay? They bought more infrastructure, okay? Infrastructure is hard to come by. A lot of companies do not have infrastructure. They just have these equipments, these machines that they're not able to plug in because they don't have the infrastructure. Bitfarms was able to get that infrastructure, okay? How did Bitfarms get the infrastructure? Well, let's talk about that now, okay? But basically, they bought this building situated strategically within the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland interconnection. This area here provides very low cost electricity supply for them, okay? Let's take a look at what Nicholas Bonta said here. Executing on our strategy to cost effectively expand our operating footprint in the US, we have entered into an agreement for flexible power trading within the PJM, said Nicholas Bonta, chairman and interim CEO. Leveraging our operational excellence and farm design expertise, we're poised to optimize this site, facilitating efficient growth. This U.S. expansion not only strengthens our position in the industry, but also enhances our geographic geographical diversification. In addition, it raises our 2025 power capacity to 648 megawatts, or 170% growth, from current capacity of 47% growth from targeted year-end 2024 capacity. Within the site's ability to support 8 exahash alongside our recent acquisition of an additional 100 megawatts in Paraguay, we project 2025 guidance of over 35 exahash. As additional opportunities in our pipeline come to fruition, we will update both our contracted power capacity and our 2025 exahash target. We remain committed to pursuing similar strategic ventures aimed at delivering significant value to our shareholders, including Mr. Bonta. Okay. So as we can see here, Bitfarms, even without a CEO in place right now, they continue to execute on their growth plans, and they're continuing to project even more growth into the future. And they're doing all of this without a CEO, ladies and gentlemen. But let's take a look at the terms of the agreement. It says that they have access to development potential up to 120 megawatts of highly strategic and flexible power. How did they pay for it? This is important here. 100% paid by the issuance of 1,532,745 Bitfarms common shares. So they've sold into the market 1,532,745 shares, right? Who bought these shares? Who has bought the shares that Bitfarms sold into the market? Well, Riot did. Riot shareholders bought these shares. So basically, Riot shareholders are funding the growth that Bitfarms is now projected to have in 2025. Okay, that's right. So this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a Riot shareholder, you are investing your money into Riot, right? They are taking that money that you're investing in their company, and they're going out and they're buying Bitfarms shares, right? So they're taking the money that you're giving them, and they're using that money to buy shares of Bitfarms company, Bitfarms common stock, all right? What is Bitfarms doing with that money? Well, Bitfarms is taking that money and they're using it to develop more growth in 2025, all right? So if you are a Riot shareholder, thank you very much for your contribution, ladies and gentlemen. You are funding the growth of Bitfarms, okay? But remember, Bitfarms has a poison pill in place for the hostile takeover that Riot is attempting to make on them, okay? So we're going to discuss what that poison pill means for both Riot shareholders and what it means for Bitfarms shareholders, okay? Because I know a lot of people have been asking about that, okay? A lot of people who are investing in these companies have been asking about that. So I'm going to talk about that later. First, let's talk about the $54 of passive income that I made this month, okay? So I sold another $3 put, all right? And I was able to sell it. Let me show you what I sold it for. I sold it for, let's take a look at my history here, for $54. Okay, I sold the Bitfarms $3 put expiring August 16th. All of my options are expiring August 16th, okay? Now, I sold another one for $54, this $3 put. So that means that if by August 16th, Bitfarms shares are trading below $3, then I'll be buying them for that price. However, because I got $54 already for this contract that I sold, all right, that means that I'm really buying it for $2.46. All right. So I'm really buying these shares for $2.46. All right. So that is what I agreed to. I agreed to buy them for $3 a share for 100 shares. I got paid 54 cents per share for 100 shares. That gave me $54 of passive income. And so by August, I'm either going to own another 100 shares that would have cost me $246, or I'm going to receive my $300 back from collateral, and I'm going to keep these $54 that I made. All right. So I'm collecting my profit up front, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm making interest on my $300 investment right now. All right. But I didn't have to invest $300 in order to sell this contract. Why not? Because normally I sell a put option on Thursdays when I get paid, right? And I invest up to $300 into the stock market. That is when I normally would sell a put option. However, I didn't have to wait till this Thursday to sell this put option. All right. Why not? Because I've been able to save up all the money that I've made by selling these premiums, these options, selling these options. I've been able to save it up here in my buying power. Okay. So I've had, if you remember on my last video, I had around 500 and something dollars here, around 500 and I don't remember exactly, but I'm going to post that video at the end of this video so you can see exactly how much I had in my buying power. But I used that extra cash that I had here to be able to sell another put option. Okay, now when Thursday comes around and I get paid again, I'll put those $300 back into this buying power here. Okay, I'm going to replenish that. All right, but yes, I was able to use that money that I have saved up here from the previous options that I have sold. All right. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, using the wheel strategy is getting easier and easier to sell these options and make money every month. This money that I've been investing has been compounding, and now I'm adding more interest to what I've already made on the money that I've invested. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. So I have been able to sell another put for the price of $54. And so now I have 20 contracts, 20 options out there that are expiring August 16th. So by August 16th, right, 20 contracts, I'm either going to have 2,000 shares of Bitfarms or not. So we have to wait till August 16th to find out. So we have to stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Bitfarms is trading at $3.25. So that means that it looks like I'm not going to own more shares of Bitfarms. And it looks like from this $3 call that I have here, right? I'm going to have to sell 200 of my shares for $3, right? Now, my dollar cost average is 253, right? That's how much I've paid for all of my shares of Bitfarms, which is 1,200. If I sell 200 of them for $3, right? That's going to give me $47 of capital gains. I'm now making capital gains in Bitfarms, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here, look at my market value. $3,900 market value. Compare that to the last video that I put out. All right. Now, my total return is currently in a positive. I'm making the capital gains now on my shares. Positive $863. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm up this amount. This is how much capital gains I'm making on my shares of Bitfarms. All right. Now I've already made money. I've already collected profits by selling options. All right. So that's on top of the $863 capital gains. I've already made money selling puts and selling calls. So I've made passive income 3 ways. All right. So that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. But take a look at this market value. It is now $3,900. This is important. And I'm going to get to that in a second, why it's so important. Let's take a look at the market cap for Bitfarms, okay? The market cap is now $1.26 billion. So Bitfarms is now worth $1.26 billion. And if you remember, Riot wanted to buy Bitfarms for $950 million. Well, that's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen because Bitfarms is now worth $1.26 billion. Okay. So now let's talk about the poison pill. What's going to happen with the poison pill? Well, I just want to give you an example of what this could possibly mean for people. Okay. If you have a friend and you've been friends for a while But let's say one day your friend does something that offends you. It hurts your feelings. Okay. It's not something terrible. It's not a serious offense, but you're upset. All right. You get upset about it. You decide that you don't want to be friends with them anymore. All right. And in order for that to happen, you decide you're going to take some poison. And by taking this poison, you feel like that's going to hurt your friend. But what's really going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen? What really is going to happen is that you're going to end up killing yourself and nothing's going to happen to your friend. He's not going to get hurt by this, right? Now, this could also happen even if you choose not to take poison, ladies and gentlemen. If you hold a grudge against somebody, if you were so upset over something that they did that you decide to stop talking to this friend that you once had, that's going to hurt you in many ways, ladies and gentlemen. That could cause your health to decline, right? And that's going to cause you to lose a friendship that you had for a while, right? All because you were not willing to make peace with this friend, right? So holding a grudge, taking poison, thinking that it's going to hurt somebody else, it's not worth it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth it, right? So make peace with your friends, all right? But that's just an example of what taking a poison pill could do to somebody, right? But how does it affect people in the stock market? Let's talk about that now. Okay, so if Riot goes as far as buying up 15% of Bitfarms shares, all right, they currently own only 14%, all right? So let's say their market value, Riot's market value of Bitfarms common shares. Just to give you an example, let's say that their market value, they currently have around 54 million shares. Well, let's go back to that news report and see exactly how much they have, okay? They currently have 57,627,036 shares of Bitfarms, okay? So let's do some quick math here and figure out what their market value is. So that's 57,627,036 times what is Bitfarms worth right now, which is $3.25. So Riot's market value of Bitfarms shares right now at this moment is $187 million, right? It's over that actually, it's over that amount. So let's say by owning 15% of Bitfarms, let's say their market value goes up to 188 million. Let's just use that number, right? 188 million is Riot's market value once they own 15% of Bitfarms shares. Okay. So what's going to happen after that? If Bitfarms decides to buy, or sorry about it, if Riot decides to buy more Bitfarms shares after that, okay, then the poison pill is going to take effect, is going to be initiated. All right. So instead of Riot's market value going up above $188 million, they're going to get diluted by the poison pill. So if they try to buy more shares of Bitfarms after 15% ownership, they will get diluted all the way back down to $188 million in market value. Okay. They can never have a higher market value than $188 million because of this poison pill that Bitfarms is using. Okay. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Market value of Riot can never go above $188 million. Right. Okay. So now, who else is going to get hurt by this poison pill? We know Riot's getting hurt, but who else is going to get hurt by the poison pill? Look at the market cap, all right? Once Riot owns 15% of Bitfarm shares, their market cap is going to go up, all right? Their market cap is going to, let's say it goes up to 1.3 billion, all right? Let's just use that number now. Bitfarm's market cap when Riot takes ownership of 15% of Bitfarm shares, goes up to 1.3 billion. All right. It can't go higher than that. All right. Because if Riot buys more shares, it's not going to go up. This market cap is not going to go up because they're going to dilute shares. They're going to dilute their shares. Okay. So that means that the market cap will stay at 1.3 billion. All right. So Bitfarms is hurting themselves. Bitfarms is hurting themselves because they're diluting their shares, but they're also hurting Riot. Remember, Riot is never going to be able to have a market value higher than 188 million. All right. Riot has $188 million of market value, right? At this point, Bitfarms market cap is 1.3 billion. All right. But what happens to the rest of the shareholders, right? Who gets ownership of those diluted shares? Who starts to own those shares? Well, all the other shareholders, including myself. So I'm looking forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. If that does happen, I am looking forward to that a lot. Okay, so just think about this. If Riot dares to buy more than 15% of Bitfarm shares, they will get diluted back down to $188 million of market value. All right, by having that dilution also will keep Bitfarm's market cap at a certain amount, 1.3 billion. Okay. So their market cap will stay the same as well. However, my market value, right? Because I'm receiving those diluted shares either for free or for a very, very, very significant discount, my market value will go up. Okay. My market value, along with every other Bitfarm shareholder's market value, will go up. So we will not get affected by this poison pill. All right. Bitfarm shareholders will not be affected by the poison pill. Okay, we're like that friend who, you know, you think that by taking the poison pill, your friend is going to get hurt. No, they're not going to get hurt. So that's us. We're like that friend. We're not going to get hurt by the poison pill. Who is getting hurt by the poison pill? Well, Riot is getting hurt by the poison pill because they can never own more than $188 million in market value of Bitfarm shares. Okay. Bitfarms is getting hurt because their market cap will stay at $1.27 billion or whatever the number is at that point. Okay. So both Riot and Bitfarms will get hurt by the poison pill, but the other shareholders will not. Only Riot will get diluted. All right. So what does that mean for Bitfarm shareholders? We just discussed that. That means that my market value, along with every other Bitfarm shareholder's market value, will go up, right? Without having to purchase extra shares because we're going to get those shares for free. We're going to receive the diluted shares for free. How many diluted shares are we going to receive? Well, that depends on how many shares you had at a certain date. All right. So that's what it's going to depend on. Okay. But my market value is going to go up from this number right here. Okay. So that is how it's going to affect Bitfarms shareholders. We are going to be doing good at that point. Okay. If the poison pill is initiated, we are going to be receiving more shares of Bitfarms. Our market value is going to go up significantly. Okay. So keep that in mind. If you are a Bitfarms shareholders, you should be happy that the poison pill is going to be initiated. Okay. But what if you are a Riot shareholder? Okay. What if you are investing in Riot stock? Remember, you're giving Riot money. They're taking that money and putting it into Bitfarms. Bitfarms is funding their growth, making their shareholders happy. Okay. But if you are a Riot shareholder, all right, what does the poison pill mean for you? Well, that means that you can never own more than 15% of Bitfarm shares. You can never own more of 15% of Bitfarm shares because if you do, if Riot does try to own more than 15%, you're going to get diluted. Okay, Riot is going to get diluted, right? The only way Riot shareholders will be able to own more than 15% of Bitfarms shares is if they invest in Bitfarms directly. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. If Riot shareholders start to invest into Bitfarms directly, then you will be able to own more than 15% of Bitfarms shares. Okay, what's gonna happen if you do decide to start buying into Bitfarms now? Okay, you're done with Riot. You don't want to invest in Riot anymore because you know you're gonna get diluted, right? So what's gonna happen, right? But now don't sell your shares of Riot, okay? I'm not saying that you should sell your shares of Riot. All I'm saying is that if you want to own more of Bitfarms than 15%, then you have to start buying shares of Bitfarms, okay? And why is that a good idea for you to do if you like Riot? Why should you start investing in Bitfarms now? Well, because remember, Riot owns 15% of Bitfarms. Their market value is 188 million. All right. Now, if you start buying shares of Bitfarms directly after that point, what's going to happen to Riot's market value? It's going to start to go up. So the only way that Riot's market value goes up is not by owning more than 15%. They can't own more than 15% because of the poison pill. So the only way that Riot's market value goes up is if other investors start to buy Bitfarms shares. All right. But that's also going to cause their market cap to go up. The market cap will also start to go up if Riot shareholders or any other shareholders starts to buy more shares of Bitfarms. All right. So that is the only way that the market cap goes up for Bitfarms. And that is the only way that Riot is able to own more than $188 million of market value in their 15% of Bitfarm shares. So if you are a Riot shareholder, you are a Riot investor, start buying some Bitfarm shares because that is the only way that you're going to be able to own more than 15% of Bitfarms. And that is the only way that Riot's investment in Bitfarms is going to go up as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that you understand this. I hope that I've been able to answer the question, how will the poison pill affect Riot and Bitfarms shareholders? Okay, if you have any more questions, please leave a comment, or you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and you can DM me, send me a private message there, and I'll try to answer your questions there. But ladies and gentlemen, we have done a phenomenal job with Bitfarms, with the wheel strategy, using the wheel strategy on Bitfarms. Okay, I've made a lot of money already selling premiums. I've made a lot of passive income already selling premiums. All right, I could say I've made over $900 selling premiums. Okay, and now we're going to add on top of that my capital gains, which as of this moment is $863. All right, $862. Let's take a look at what has been going on for me in the past 3 months, right? Since using the wheel strategy. In the past 3 months, I've gone up 34%, as you can see right here. I've made this amount of money right here, okay? 34%, $1,479. In the past month, all right, I've made 48%, right? $1,894. Past week, I've made $1,091, 23%. All right. So we have had a phenomenal quarter, ladies and gentlemen. A phenomenal quarter. I'm just showing you these numbers so that you can see how using the wheel strategy is very beneficial and it could protect you from the market going down or up at any time. Okay. Remember, I'm a busy person. You might be a busy person too. You may not have time to be looking at the stock market all day. The only thing that I worry about is if I get a notification that tells me that Bitfarms shares went down. If Bitfarm shares go down, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell another put if Bitfarm shares go down. So I hope that it does go down again before August 16th so that I am able to sell another $3 put. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to have to start looking at selling some $3.50 puts, right? Some $3.5 puts. And I'm not ready to do that yet, okay? I want to keep trying to sell these $3 puts. So I'm hoping and waiting for Bitfarm shares to go below $3 so that I can sell more of these puts. I mean, I can still sell these puts right now. I can still sell them, but I'm only going to get $45 for it. That's what it's trading at right now, $45. But I want to make more money on these $3 put. So I'm hoping that it goes below $3 again so that I can sell another $3 put for more than $45. All right. And I have the funds here in my buying power to be able to do that. On Thursday, I'm going to add another $300 to this buying power. Okay. So at first, in the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie, it was hard. It was very hard to use the wheel strategy, seeing that number go down, not having a lot of money on this buying power, seeing my total returns. I was down a lot on my total returns. I hadn't yet covered my total return loss. But now, as we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, I no longer have a loss. I no longer have to cover anything because now I'm on the plus side. Now I'm up. I'm making capital gains at this point. I'm not at a capital loss anymore. I'm now in the capital gains strategy category, I guess you could say that, right? I'm now in the capital gains of Bitfarm shares, of my Bitfarm shares. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the video for today. I hope that you benefited a lot from this. I hope that I've answered your questions about the poison pill and how it affects me personally and how it will affect Riot and Bitfarm shareholders. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until my next video, as always.
This has been another video from Dad's Market Stats. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. If you know someone that can benefit from these videos, make sure to share it with them as well. Until next time, and remember, let's grow together.